principals that I've been meeting, and they really been concerned about it. So in that context, this year's theme becomes very, very important. So we start today's program with the welcome and intro by Martha ma'am. And Martha ma'am, in fact, I'm always honored to talk to her and get a lot of ideas and inputs from her uh, on different topics. And I really also I'm honored that every time I write a little bit of something, that next day I find the Spanish translation and shared in the social media. So from the bottom of my heart, I should thank you very much. And she is a professor of literature with a master's degree in teaching and a diploma in human rights. And Pam is the author of didactic books. She is also the founder and the president of the Nepal Foundation and serves as the executive director of education at the Global Peace Let's Talk. Ma'am, the floor is all yours to give the welcome and the broad topic for the day and the guideposts for all our esteemed speakers who will be following after you. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much. I am presenting my PPT. No. My name is Marta Lescano from Argentina. I am the leader for the Education Young Ambassador and Child Rights chapter in Global Peace Let's Talk. We thank everyone for uniting on International Education Day, celebrated today, January 24, under the term Learning for Lasting Peace. The idea in our chapter is to provide education tools for peace, to propose positive ideas for unity and the promotion of respect. We need to talk about the positive things we can do together without excluding any group and including everyone. This is educational tools for coexistence. Education in non-violent communication, education in human rights, education in interculturality, sustainability education, global citizenship education, mediation and negotiation education. Education in self-knowledge, education in meditation and yoga, education in emotional management. This is a picture of different working with intercultural projects in different countries. It's a very, 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 very strong work. Gratitude for everyone, and these are various countries which participated in this project. The other tools is PeaceWorks, teaching material for peace. This is in Argentina. The other project is Young Ambassadors GPLT. Mission spread actions linked to education for knowledge, art, environmental care, well-being, and peace worldwide. The names, Camila Cadet, Orasain, speaker in Haiti, Mexico, USA. Radima Adnan, social entrepreneur, Pakistan. Mariano Solís, mathematical, international speaker, Mexico. Trapa Choudhury, artist. Sebastián, biologist. Bruno Segura, international speaker, Mexico. Stilini, Pierre Arias, Peña Arias, international athlete, Haití, Argentina. Celine, international athlete, Haití, Argentina. Aura, Hatim, Mohamed Ali, English and Information Technology, Sudan. Alicia Bagati, Waka, Literature, Congo. Rana Yo Sarsi, Alican, international speaker, England. Sherry Choice, Community Development, Bakery. The other tools is promoters of sustainability, actions in favor of the planet, prosperity, and peace in diverse countries and cities in Argentina and other countries. For us, the purest beauty is that of children and their happiness. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It was a very, very brief, but very, very important framework that you shared on the whole dimension of education for peace. In fact, one of the areas which I always think, which probably all our esteemed speakers could also share in some way or the other, would be the, most of the problem arises because of the reductionist nature of education, where they teach us for the whole notion of us versus them. And that is a big issue when, in the context of differences and diverse differences between different cultures and stereotyping, so on and so forth. So I think that also needs to be there, because one of the journals that I help in publishing, we have been talking about this. We have been trying to put together some papers on that, on the whole notion of the reductionist approach to education, which is a real problem area. In fact, today we are going to have some very interesting and very esteemed speakers from Martha ma'am, as we all know, is from Argentina. Then we have Dr. Meena Mishra from India. We have Madam Hina from Pakistan. We have Madam Evangelina from Argentina, and Dr. Shaminaz from India. So very interesting panel with very diverse experience, and I'm sure we are all going to learn from each other. We are all going to understand the essence of education for peace from each one of you. Our first esteemed speaker also, as noted by Nikki ma'am, it's almost maximum of 15 minutes per speaker, possibly a little less. So that we can have some interesting discussion, because this is the topic where we need discussion and action on what exactly we can do. Of course, at the policy level may not be possible to really change the policies and all, but definitely in our own individual level, institutional level, how we can work with children, how we can conduct workshops for children, what needs to be the action plan for children. Those are the areas we need to really look at. So our first honorable speaker is Madam Meena Mishra, and she is an award-winning poet and an educator, very senior educator from India. And in fact, she has been already nominated for the coveted Padma Shri Award, which in India is a very, very prestigious, highly prestigious award for her contribution in the field of literature and education. She is also the founder and the CEO of the Impi's Last Publishing House, Mumbai, India. So, a very distinguished speaker, Madam Mishra, who has enormous experience in this sector of education. So, it would be so greatly interesting to listen to Madam Mishra on the theme of this year's International Day of Education. Madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome and a wonderful introduction. So, today, the first thing that I want to talk is that I've been an educator for past 27 years. I still teach every day I enter the classroom. So, my topic for today is a peaceful world begins with a peaceful classroom. That is what I firmly believe in. The importance of a peaceful classroom in shaping the future. So, what is it? How important is it? I've just scribbled few incidents from my class. Ishan is a vegetarian but loves to sit and eat his tiffin with his best friend Mahmood, who gets bread omelette. What is he learning in school? Of course, he is learning to accept each other's culture, religion, and food habits. There is another short incident. Manthan is an excellent sports person. He is the head boy of his school. His friend Kushang wants to participate in cycling contest, but his father can't afford to buy a bicycle for him. Manthan gives his bicycle to his friend so that he can practice and participate in the contest. What are these kids learning? They are learning to care and share. Whatever the world is outside, it all depends on what all do we teach the students in the school. What do we see? What do we observe in our classroom? There are various things that they learn. One is cultivating responsible citizens. Classrooms are foundation of future citizens. It establishes the link between a peaceful classroom and responsible citizens. Anyone who can contribute towards a peaceful classroom can contribute towards a peaceful world outside. Classroom is the place where the students learn interpersonal skills, conflict resolution, and empathy. Positive learning environment is something that the entire world is waiting for. And in a classroom, students explore how a peaceful classroom can contribute to effective learning. Similarly, if the world is peaceful, it can contribute to effective growth of all the citizens of different countries. The classroom teaches the students that we need to create a safe environment for ourselves and for others. And that is what we need in the entire world. You must have seen how conflict resolution skills are taught to the kids. Actually, it's not taught, it's caught by the kids in the classroom. A classroom prepares the students for life's challenges. Only when the conflict is resolved, we can think of, we can dream of a harmonious world. Similarly, in a classroom, when all the conflicts are resolved, they create a peaceful classroom. Bullying and violence is something, if you talk to the grown ups, 80% of them would tell you that they have gone through some or the other type of bullying while they were students. Anti bullying campaigns in various schools teach the students that they need to create a secure environment for everyone. Negative behaviors should not be tolerated by anyone, and we should not be a bystander. Now that is how, from the time I have joined this Global Peace Let's Talk, I have been going through so many posts wherein the members of Global Peace Let's Talk are very vocal about what's happening outside, how this war should be stopped. We should not be a bystander. And that is what we teach our students in a classroom. Don't become a bystander. If you see someone is being bullied, if you see someone is being beaten, if you see someone is being ill treated, just go ahead and stop it. Raise your voice against it, report it to the authority. Global citizens. A classroom teaches the students to think beyond borders. This is the place where we nurture global citizenship by encouraging the students to contribute to a better world through understanding and collaboration. The other thing that we teach our students in a classroom atmosphere is social and emotional development. We must all prioritize our emotional intelligence, highlighting the focus on social and emotional development is the main target of creating a peaceful classroom. How do we cultivate them? There are various activities that take place. There are various interactive sessions that happen in the classroom that sensitizes the child towards emotional development. There is another small anecdote. Manya and Ved study in the same class. Ved is appointed as the class monitor. He suggests that Manya should also get a chance to mind the class. Now, what are we teaching them? We are teaching them gender equality. We are teaching them leadership qualities. We nurture future leaders in the classroom. It is in the classroom that they explore the connection between accepting males and females as equals and entrusting them with leadership roles. And this is what the entire world requires today: leadership development. Classroom is a miniature world. Anything and everything that happens in a classroom reflects the entire world. It is very important for us as educators to ensure that all the good qualities are taught in the classroom. So, whenever in the class you see that a child is caring and sharing, we know we are nurturing this quality in the future citizens of this world. It's time we create global citizens in the classroom, the citizens who would bring peace to this world. Anyone has any question? Please feel free to ask me.
Possibly, ma'am, we could have the question answers after the ST, all the esteemed speakers speak.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that would be so very important points which ma'am shared, and I can share my own experience of conducting numerous workshops on peer mediation among school students. As a form of how we can promote the mediation mindset of school students, and I and our another GPLT co-member Mansi Sharma, who is not well for quite some time. Both of us, in fact, have put together a whole course, a small course on peer mediation, and we are trying to promote peer mediation. So, what ma'am is telling, very important how we can develop this life skills amongst young people to actually negotiate many of these conflicts that come up in the classrooms. And also, my own experience of teaching, giving training to would-be teachers, the B.Ed students and the M.Ed students, on how we can use the tools and strategies of nonviolent communication as part of better classroom management practices. So that again becomes very, very important. So without wasting any time, I have our honor, the next speaker, who is Madam Evangelina Kulasciati. And in fact, Evangelina, we've been working together for quite some time now under the guidance of Martha ma'am and Nikki ma'am. And last 2nd October, we had the privilege of having her sing that beautiful song as a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. Which was incidentally written by this young girl from Pakistan, Saida Romana Mehdi. So we now have Madam Evangelina, and she is an excellent singer, as we all know in the GPLT family, who composed and sang that really great song. She is a music producer. She is a producer of artistic and holistic events. She's an actress, of course, writer, hyper-realist painter, member of national and international organizations for peace culture. Also, most importantly, when we are talking about education for peace, arts and music plays an extremely important role. Here, I would like to share just around a fortnight back, I get this message in the Twitter, now it is X, from this Sarod player in United States, and he asked if I would like to work with him to develop some kind of a notes on non-violent communication. In fact, as someone who is not very good, not much literate, I can say, vis-a-vis music is concerned, I was really confused on how someone who plays sarod actually can make notes, compose music on non-violent communication. In fact, possibly Evangelina might have answer to that. I'm still not able to answer to his request. So music for peace is extremely, extremely important. I remember also this famous singer from Latin America who was here in Gandhi Smriti some few years back, and she had sung with one of the AK-47. She had transformed one of the AK-47s into a musical instrument, a string instrument, which happens to be there in our museum now. And she had sung all across the world. So music has an extremely, extremely important role to play in the context of education for peace. So without wasting any time, may I request Evangelina to really give an insight to how we can promote education for peace from the point of view of art and culture. Evangelina.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Thank you.
Are you listening to me okay?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, please.
Because I had some problem of Wi-Fi signal here where I am here in Buenos Aires. Shall I start with my speech?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Please, please.
Okay. Well, you are listening to me very well?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Because I cannot listen to you so much.
Well, no problem. No problem. Please go ahead.
Okay. Well, as I'm an artist, I said a complete artist because I paint, I compose music, I sing, I'm an actress. I try to write about thinking that everyone is a note in a whole symphony. The title of my speech is Every Human Being is a Note in the Peace Symphony. Music for me is the most powerful and loving thing in life. It's the most important for me. And I also say that God is music and he expresses himself through us because we are like a kind of channel. We get music from the air and get it down to the earth. In the year 2018, a friend of mine suggested to me to watch the film entitled August Rush. I don't know if you don't know that film, because it shows the way I used to compose my music, the same way the character does. The main character, August, in this very interesting film, used to say that none has to quit his own music. No matter what may happen in one life, music is the only refuge to go. Nothing wrong may happen there, and that you must be faithful. Those words are August Rush words. And this message brought me to the remembrance of a picture I have discovered in a magazine, in a little magazine. I was having some days of holidays in the Argentinian coast. It was almost 20 years ago. My first child was a little baby, and we were to the coast of Argentina to have some days of holidays. And when I arrived to the cottage we had rented to spend those days, I saw this little magazine on the side table. And I opened the magazine in a random page, and I saw a picture of a paint that had won a prize for the best representative state of peace. In the paint, there was a mother bird together with her breeding in a nest hanging on the wall of a huge cliff. It was a very hard storm. It was befalling a very hard storm, but the look of the mother was extremely peaceful. Her breeding were confident to her, and it showed that being faithful is the way to go. And I think that it's the only way to go, you know. I think that everyone is music. We are music, because the first heartbeat in our date birth, the first heartbeat is a note, a unique note in the universe. And we must recognize this and be also aware of the other notes for the symphony. So everyone has his own sound, and we must be respectful about this. I really believe that if oneself can listen to his own heartbeat and follow his own rhythm, recognizing, let's say, his own potential and also the other ones, together with the whole diversity of vocal range harmony, will be among us. And we can play a very beautiful symphony. For me, living in harmony, like the notes in a symphony, is living in peace, being peace. It is like being in the axis of a hurricane, or the core of a hurricane. If we can see the dynamic of the hurricane, we can see that everything around perhaps it's a chaos, but in the eye, the core, right there, peace lives. And we should be focused on that, in this case, in staying in this center, but at the same time be aware of the direction the hurricane moves toward. The question is, we should ask to ourselves is, Why? And that is that we must move toward this direction. Otherwise, we will be trapped by the chaos. And our experience to live peace is to be aware and remain in the core. And remember, once the hurricane vanishes, the whole space is the core. This experience I mentioned previously is like a training. And once you train like this, you will be able to manage situations in a peaceful way. It is like this. You have your own song. You are listening to it. You create it. You follow the steps and rhythm it expresses. You are being respectful to you, first of all, so that you will be respectful to others. Perhaps it may sound impractical, but everybody can listen to himself, listen to that voice that speaks inside everyone. It's like the inner GPS. And you won't miss the way. You won't miss yourself. You will be living in a peace state. You will be peace. You will be able to donate yourself in peace. Charly Garcia, a very renowned Argentinian composer, wrote in one of his songs, "As I'm watching the new waves, I am really part of the sea." This little sentence for me is a huge one. It is very significant. So that following this premise, I believe that in order to share peace, we must be peace first. Shizua says, "Peace I live with you, my peace I give you. I do not give, to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." So in the eye of the hurricane, recognizing your own voice, your inner GPS, your own sound, you will be in peace. And then you will be able to share peace to others. And as I'm a singer, and yesterday we celebrate in Argentina the National Day of Musicians, honoring Luis Alberto Spinetta, a very renowned singer, musician, and composer here from Argentina. And this is a samba called, I will sing that in Spanish, Barro Tal Vez. This is a samba, a typical music from Argentina. I will sip a little bit of water and then I will share this song to you. And it says this way. Si no canto lo que siento, me voy a morir por dentro. He de gritar a los vientos hasta reventar, aunque solo quede tiempo en mi lugar. Si quiero me toco el alma, pues mi carne ya no es nada. He de fusionar mi rezo con el despertar, aunque se pudra mi boca por callar. Ya no estoy queriendo, ya me estoy volviendo canción, barro tal vez. Y es que esta es mi corteza, donde el hacha golpeará, donde el río secará para callar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Evangelina. It has always been an honor to listen to you. and your beautiful songs. And I'm sure we would like to work together further in promoting on how we can promote many of this music and songs for peace and non-violence. So once again, really from the bottom of the heart, we really thank you for those wonderful lyrics in the song. So our next speaker is Madam Jyoti Maya Thakur, and it has always been a great pleasure listening to Ma'am. Such profound understanding of different subjects. Also, before that, here I would like to share an important perspective when we are talking of education for peace. Is the essence of media and information literacy amongst children. As someone again who has really for more than a decade have been working extensively in the area of media literacy, both nationally and internationally, and also in fact, have worked with the CBSE and the NCERT here in India to develop the curriculum on media education. It's extremely important because nowadays, right from the childhood, children are exposed to the smartphones and the mobile devices, and there is it's basically a hyper technological era where children can co-create a lot of media messages very easily, uh, uh, much easily than any other previous generation. So unless and until we promote media literacy, it's going to be very difficult. Also, here I would like to share something which an experiment which I had done some years back on how we can promote peace orientation using media literacy. Like say for instance this whole cartoon thing that is a ninja turtle, which is very aggressive and very those ninja turtles going up around in a killing spree. So in a media literacy classroom, what we have done is that we ask the children to think that fine, you are the another ninja turtle, but you are Ninja Gandhi. So how do you come out of that particular situation without killing anyone in a non-violent way? So critical thinking abilities and bringing in the whole realm of peaceful orientation using the tools and strategies of media literacy. So it's a big task ahead for each one of us to promote media literacy amongst young people in this era of social media. So in that context here, may I now invite Madam Jyoti Maya Thakur, who has been a retired principal of a Cambridge affiliated school, a bilingual author of 49 books in different genres and has got translated into 43 languages. She has a huge number of anthologies, poems, stories, articles, research papers, widely published and translated in many languages and acclaimed journals. She has also been earned a Grand Master degree in Reiki healing in Karuna Reiki. And she's the Hindi translator of the Ithaka magazine of Spain. She's a motivational speaker, reviewer, columnist, philanthropist, and serves in various committees as ambassador and advisor. So once again, ma'am, so we welcome you here and really looking forward to listening to you on this very critical subject, madam.
Yeah, it's on. I think already on. It's not mute. Can you hear me, all of you? Namaskar. Can you hear me? Hi. Just give me.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation and such kind words. I don't know whether I deserve it, but I'll try my best to show that actually peace is a way of life. And in one of my poems, I've brought the book actually. It's a Symphony of Peace. One of the book that was actually inaugurated or launched by the Pope of in Taranto, Italy festival by Professor George Onsi and Mr. Sethi in my absence, of course. And this poem actually will be able to tell you that peace begins at home with lessons of tolerance. I'll begin with that because education of any kind begins at home, just like charity and everything else. Peace is a way of life, begins at home with lessons of tolerance. After arguments or angry confrontations, no grudge or guilt should persist for long. Hold hands and bonds with forgiveness strong. Peace is not a philosophy for odds. It is for survival of world at large. Not only when the terror strikes at one end, just light candles and say prayers is a farce. You write a poem or report and it is done. World is united in music and poetry, as the lady said. Language, religion, color, or creed disappear when we sing or when we write. That helps mankind, inspires to look within. The unity in diversity, the spiritual unity. Receptive to synergy, searching for harmony with a little touch of humanity. Float a dream, a vision of universal art, since nothing else can cure them of hatred and war, effusing perspiration to inspire with empathy, explore possibilities of a noble world of brotherhood where people in peace can live together without any wound. So this is one of my poems when I was writing Search for Peace. In the Indian tradition, poets are seers, visionaries, and prophetic in their experience or experience. The Veda itself is a poetic expression of highly disciplined and dedicated thinker rishis who could, due to their power of concentration, contemplation, and meditation, visualize divine messages and expressed all that in poetic form par excellence. Sir Aurobindo, I quote him, charged with a mandate from eternity, has visualized that one man's perfection still can save the world. And we know that. We know that because Mahatma Gandhi did so. Nelson Mandela did so. Martin Luther King did so. So there are such people, one man, a prayer, a master act, a king idea can change the course of things. A lowly thought becomes omnipotent. And then peace appears to possess the capacity to save the world from the mindless terror that has gripped it now. Greed, power, possession, politics, whatever it might be. If this idea prevails from the beginning, if it is given root in the beginning as a child to the critical mass of rational minds, which we see on the media, so much aggression, so much of physical power seems to overpower the mind and the heart, we can explore possibilities of noble brotherhood. Forcefully against violence and terrorism, and then the world will witness our harmonious rebirth as visualized by the great visionaries, by the great rishis, by the great king. So here, what my message is already is that in the welfare of states of today, a majority opinion respects the minority opinion, sadly. And a change is brought in through ballots. But when fanaticism seizes the mind of the majority, then religious frenzy leads to violence and terrorism. Earlier, wars were raised to establish peace upon earth. Today's wars are more for religious fanaticism, economic dominance, or political expansionism. Since war starts in the mind first, it has to be first fought on the intellectual level to nip the very idea of war in the bud. what can be a better option than to spread the poetic message of peace along with other political and economic efforts simultaneously? So when we are education, I think value education should be there, moral education should be there, everything should be combined, like the African word Ubuntu, such a beautiful word. If you hurt others, you are hurt yourself. We are all one. Peace has got to be both interior and exterior in the individual. Unlike charity, peace begins at home. It should continue as a way of life in the world at large, even when they grow up to be very ambitious people in this very materialistic individual world. So, what I need to say is we are one, talking about the oneness of all. Hurting others is hurting yourself. Being revengeful is immoral fall. In reality, else's soul is same in self. So imagine a situation before leaving the source, where all were one and became many souls. Why individual existence is stuck in a hole? For to become one again is the ultimate goal. This is something we have to give as a concept of life. And there are many things where there are regions beyond religion, beyond politics, beyond many other things like literature, music, games. There are so many things that can teach us. And the best beautiful thing that teaches is nature. Diversity of plants, trees, shrubs, grass unite without religion. So why can't we move with the hope which knows no fear? And so there's where road is not clear. When it is not clear, hope sparks to blossoms, even inside abysmal abyss. Hope is a small voice whispering, maybe, maybe, which is weird, even when the whole world is shouting, not to be sure. So here, actually, tremendous togetherness is a triumph for mighty strengths, tremendous energy of unity, of courageous length to build a nation or to achieve great heights or to achieve peace. A powerful bond in diversity is needed for such a fate. Walking alone is a very weary journey. Without a family, it is scary, and the whole world is our family. And the whole world is our family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam is something that we Indians have known for I don't know when. It has been there always. The world is one. The other thing that I was going to speak about is the concept of life, which has to be taught to a child from the beginning. Not only that we are one, that there can be a heaven on earth, and that our survival should be soulful. Not the appearance of fine apparels outside make us what we are. Take away the hidden soulful existence inside, the incorruptible ornament of gentle and quiet, the kind nature inherent is a very precious sight. Thought is the epicenter of whole physical energy. To escape from the flesh gives spiritual freedom. An engine is the fundamental source of any machine. The soul is the well of manifested wisdom. What the mouth speaks out is directly preceded. From the mind, both purity and impurities abounds. A controlled man delves in virtuous adorns, entwined with spiritual grace, charitable sounds. Virtually every time in a right frame of mind, as alive conscious is aware and awakened, what he is supposed to do and in which kind, what will be the outcome of his deeds expanded. the ability to abide by Holy Spirit intact, a discipline to be maintained guided by insight, never to be outclassed natural beauty by any fake, like pillars sculptured in palatial style. Always behave guided by positivity, walking in the path in rightful activity, like qualities of primal, beautiful existence, the purpose of our existence on this earth as humanity, like a tree of shade in pristine existence. A clear definition of soulful survival is the righteous stand taken in stormy turbulence, not commit wrong. However critical the situation, a good person will abide his pure heart in education. So, education is all about bringing the best that a human being can be. Compassion is the divine connectivity. Harbingers define beautiful synchronicity. We are here on earth to honor each other, the bonding thread of a garland forever. It's the strength of a silent healer, the empathy of hidden pain releaser, the unspoken tragedy of others explode. Compassion is the panacea of multifold. Humanity is at its best when caring unfolds, the
Ma'am,
miracle
another
that
2 minutes.
in hearts of gold. Happiness spreads to specially lift for suffering downtrodden, the most precious gift. Faith in mankind is infinitely restored when selfless service is kindly bestowed. Messengers of nature are blessed in abundance. The world is at peace by presence of Samaritans. So we as educators have to bring in a group of Samaritans, a group of angels, a group of pacifiers, a group of musicians who sing the song of the universe. That should be the concept of our education. So, peace is a way of life, and it begins at home and from the school. Thank you so much,
Thank you, ma'am.
educators.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Educators.
Once again, it was really wonderful listening to you. Our next esteemed speaker is Madam Hina Rubin from Pakistan. She is a social trainer, project writer. She is into human rights and a peace activist. And she is the community ambassador of Global Peace. Let's talk. Also, we have heard her number of times in the various programs of the GPLT and very profound understanding of different issues. So once again, we really would look forward to listen to her on her perspectives on today's topic on education for peace and Madam Hina Robin.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, namaste, Islam, everyone. Today we are celebrating International Day of Education. Theme dialogue is learning for lasting peace. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will have cease. Education is a piece of the process, acquiring value, acknowledge, solve the problems, attitude, skills, and behaviors, and natural environment. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Peace is met by studying art, humanities, as they relate to peace. So we need to that address fears, provide information about security, understanding war behaviors, and promote peace education. Parents and teachers play the positive role for learning for lasting peace. We do awareness program with teachers, parents, and school management. Peace education at school and institute by create good communications with teachers and parents. And teachers must be able to foster positive social interaction among the parents and students and establish maintain positive collaborations relationship with families and large community to support students learning and well-being. how school promote learning for lasting peace, promote self-awareness for all students, to create the ability for each and individual to reflect on their personal feelings and thoughts, encouraging self-management, promoting social awareness, and promoting teaching accountability. How peace education in classroom. Teacher has capacity to understanding an other person thoughts and feelings. Nourish student physically and mentally well-being. Introduce compromise, cooperative, and conflict resolution. Foster positive attitude in classroom. Students live in no bullying and live with unity. Education is the only solution for lasting peace. Helpful tip of our mindfulness for lasting peace. We need to live in the present, live with positive mindset, free mind about bullying, develop love yourself, practice self-care, and meditations affect your mental state. Be grateful, work on acceptance, practice non-judgment, deeper connections. Make positive no bullying policy. Stop bullying. Teach about bullying to give challenges the student, and to give them find stories, poems, songs about peace. To give some artwork like draw a pictures or paint. Use different method about no bullying. Encourage everyone. Make students change for different role learning lasting peace. Host activities by students in cultural, sport galas, role plays, songs, speech, sharing, caring, and together and kindness, love, and peace is the theme to fully for younger grade students engage together. Learn how to develop a relationship, responsibility, and discussion making skills, and help them communicate with peers and to make healthy choice their own behaviors in one of the best ways of possible. Way of education for learning lasting peace, boost confidence and hope, promote independent thinking, inspire problem solving skills and build communication skills, and open doors and reduce poverty, increase political involvement, builds tolerance and do respect. How our environment promote peace. Small action can truly have a massive impact. Be conscious of what we consume and how to affect it and they would around us. We would be surprised by how many little changes can help promote peace in our world, and how, as a human being, as a social, as a promoter, as a teacher, as a CEOs, as a chairperson, as an ambassador, as a writer, as a peace activities, how we show lasting peace. Always be kind and direct. Bring a sense of mindfulness into our conversation. Embrace education of resources. Pay close attention to languages, do respect and take respect. Question ourselves, and we use our voice for good, positive behaviors, and stand for truth, action, and kindness, and smile and wave. Long learning nourish for communities. Do the right things when no one is watching. Give yourself tangible reminder of peace. We are as a robust tree with many branches of education, human rights, gender equality, disarmament, social and economic empowerment, justice and non-violence, peace and sustainable development. We should must educate for learning lasting peace because peace cannot be kept by force. It only can be achieved by understanding. If we want and learn for lasting peace, we have to be able peace, and peace is a practice. So more practices in our life for our world peace, for our school peace, for our children peace, for our education system peace, and peace for everywhere. So we need to in practices like teach every day in school about peace. Peace morning reflections on every day at all school and institutions. Promote peace committees in school like prefects and local development committees. Promote cultural program themes related peace and introduce peace award at schools and institutions. Stop bullying and peace dialogue with teachers, with parents, and peace awareness seminars in schools and colleges and institute at district and region and national level and international level. Need capacity building activities for teachers, collaborations with government and non-governments for lasting peace. So thank you and stay in peace and be practice. Thank you. Jyoti Mishra, third Martin.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Wonderful listening to you with some very, very pertinent point. And our last speaker for today's very, very engrossing session on education for peace is Dr. Saminaz from India. She's a bilingual poet. She's a short story writer, translator, editor, literary critic, and teaching English. She has almost 28 international books and translator of 16 books of Uzbekistan from English to Hindi. She is the author of two short story collections, Virtual versus Real World and Other Stories, and The Jasmine Girl and Other Stories. She is the founder and president of the Progressive Literacy, Literary and Cultural Society. She teaches English literature at the Rajarshi Tandon Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Prayagraj, and and is a visiting faculty in the Fargana State University, Uzbekistan. She has a teaching experience of over 20 years. In fact, we have many times listened to Madam and always been really a pleasure listening to her very profound views. So, may I request Dr. Shaminaz to kindly share her views in this program.
Thank you. We all are trying. So we have seen in the year 22 and 23 some disastrous war like Russia-Ukraine war and Israel-Palestine war, which has also stressed in 2024 as well. Not only this, there are many conflicts arising around the world, happening around the world, affecting innocent life. And there have been conflict, some on religious ground, on ethnic ground, in my country as well. And recently we have seen the tension between Iran and Pakistan. So one of the most important reason for this conflict and war is the hatred towards each other ethnicities or nationality, geographical boundaries. These and these hatred are mainly aroused by politician or sometimes even by religious leaders, because we have seen that in the recent time there has been the rise of right winger in politics, in society, all around the world, not only in my country, but I have seen this in global scenario, whether it is Turkey, Europe, Europe, even in some much developed country like Italy also. So these leaders try to poison the minds of people by their hate speeches, which instill hatred in the minds of people to a different community. And the thing is that nowadays, if the role of social media is also very vital. uh, if social media is helping in the promotion of global peace, or in the promotion of friendship and brotherhoodness, then it is also spreading, means it is easily to spread rumor very easily through social media. And this is very is easily done by the people like politician or hate monger religious fanatic leaders. Nowadays, we see that sometimes even some rumors are spread across the societies, which is it's like a virus which is disturbing the peace in the society. And this is being very much being used by the as a weapon by this right winger politician or fanatic leader. Even sometimes we see the children are being indoctrinated by their surroundings so much, that when they grow up they don't have respect for other communities, or and moreover, sometimes they want to avenge for the incident or action done in the past. Like there are groups and organization, even sometimes are provoked by the religious organization or political organization about the thing which had happened in the history. And we don't know what is reality, what happened in the history, how much it is the reality. But lots of incident are being interpreted in a different way or misinterpreted by certain groups, and they are instilled in the minds of their youth, belonging to their community. So and they in response try to take revenge with other community. So this, why should we live in the past? We should live in the future also. Like Meena Mishra ma'am has read lots of anecdote about the students. When I have studied in a missionary school, and my school was very much into humanitarian services. Like for example, when one of our worker, he was a gardener, he was sick, we all donated for his treatment. And there are lots of other things also, like whenever we when we were small, we were a kid, at that time there was a earthquake in Latur and Usmanabad in Maharashtra, I think. So our school has donated, means has collected donation from our all the student, and we have donated. Moreover, there was an organization associated with my school, that was Setu Karan Sansthan, and we were often taken there, and that was they had Sarv Dharm Pratna Sabha. So at that time we were very morally very good. We used to respect each other culture, and we had a great we used to share love. We used to share our tiffin boxes, like she was also telling the incident. And we had a very peaceful and very nice atmosphere. But when we all grow up, I see lots of my classmates which were very friendly, very, they had means they have started thinking in a different way. Earlier in the school days, we used to respect each other culture, each other religion, but that thing is missing nowadays. I don't know whether it is the reason behind is the rise of right winger, or lots of agencies working around the world who are spreading hatred through various social media. The impact of WhatsApp and Facebook is also very tremendous. They are spreading lots of things which are sometimes not real also. Like, and the thing is that people are following it blindfoldly. They don't read books these days. Children, students, they don't read much books these days. their fact, and everything is based on these social networking site, whether it is WhatsApp or it is Facebook. Sometime as a teacher, I get lots of discussion. I see lots of discussion among students. They come to me also, ma'am, is this true, or that is true, I got this kind of message, I got that time. And the thing is that even the educated people are also doing, people of our age are also just forwarding the messages. Like when we were a child, we used to read books, and our teacher also used to read books, and we used to discuss things basis on the books, the fact which are were written in the books. But nowadays people discuss uh, things with the fact which are being spread on the WhatsApp and Facebook. So WhatsApp and Facebook are being taken as a universities in these days. So this is very disturbing, this is very bad. And nowadays the scenario, we will cope up with this, like, because India was partition between India and Pakistan. At that time there was a rise of religious fanaticism, but we Indians have come out from this, and we as a society, we will come out again with this. Now I see lots of decline in the mutual respect for each other. There is an increase about the identity, means now people are more strongly believe in showing their identity, means which religion they belong, they want to show it. This is something which is not very good for the society as a whole, because we as India, we are a country which is represented in the, which is considered as a unity in diversity. We believe we have lots of diversity in terms of religion, in terms of uh, language, in terms of ethnicity, and still we believe in unity. So though there are certain changes in the society, but I being uh, a person who has seen lots of love, mutual love and cooperation in the society. My early childhood, I have been born and brought up in a village. So I belong to a village where there was a lots of cooperation. Like Hindus were celebrating Muslim festival, and Muslim were celebrating Hindus festival. I have always celebrated Diwali and Dashera like my own festival. Even the Hindus have celebrated Muharram. Every day, I have seen Hindu ladies visiting mosque to take the blessing of the Muslim who were offering, who have been offering namaz in the mosque. And even there is a, not festival, it is Muharram, it is a sad congregation every year, because it is that is held about the martyrdom of Prophet Muhammad grandson. In into that procession and all, there were Hindus also who have been participating. So I've seen this kind of, and in recent years I have seen sudden change also in the society. There have been a little lack of trust also. The people who were so much used to trust each other in the society, there was so much of trust, there was a little bit lack of trust also. But the thing is that in few years I have seen this the thing the hatred is becoming less. So hope will the hatred which has been stemmed in our society will again eliminated from. So in the world, around the world, we see lots of things happening around that. So we as a global citizen should not lose hope in humanity, because from time to time we have seen iconic figure around the world who have been worked, or who have worked for the establishment of peace, like our very own Mahatma Gandhi, and then Nelson Mandela in South Africa, and Yasir Arafat in Palestine. And the current scenario also, we see lots of peace worker working around the world. Like Malala Yousafzai is also a very fine example, who has fought with the terrorists with the weapon of education. So ours is a moral duty and commitment to work for the establishment of peace in our society, in the global community. And for this, we, Peace Ambassador of Global Peace Let's Talk, are committed towards is. Even my organization, Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, our motto is entire universe is a family, which has been taken from, see, all the religion believe in the same thing. Like in Sanskrit, it is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means entire universe is our family. And in Arabic also, in it is Sulahe Kul, which also believe the same, entire universe is our family. So uh, when we think of peace, when we think of the establishment of peace, then the role of education is pivotal, because educated mind are rational. They cannot be get carried away by any misleading information. There are lots of misleading information being spread around the world through the social media site, and even now this print media has also the same. Even print media around the world is has seen a tremendous change. Now there is embedded journalism. Like for example, we are seeing the ongoing war, like between Israel and Palestine. So there are many news agency which are not giving right information. They are giving misleading information. So uh, we as a peacemaker, we have to fight against this. We have to if people are rational, also people will try to follow those news agencies which is not embedded, which are not state sponsors news agency. And then we will see that if any politician or fanatic religious leader will try to indoctrinate people, then they will not follow them. And our education system should impart moral values like human rights, respect for other culture, equality on the basis, on all basis, whether it is religion, culture, nationality, ethnicity, geographical boundaries, gender, anything. And solidarity and equity. We see that when it comes to gender, we always talk about women. We see that women are getting less treat means women are not equally treated with men, but the worst treatment is done toward transgender. So not so much of work is done in support of transgender. So we have to, for the establishment of peace, we have to see that each and every section of the society gets equal right, whether it is man, woman, or even transgender. So if these values are inculcated in the minds of students from an early
Ma'am,
age,
another two
then
minutes, ma'am.
okay, sure, I'll try to find out. If Then it will be helpful in creating peaceful and just society. S- and sometimes we see that nationalism is taught by some fanatic people in such a way which will hatred in the minds of citizens toward other country. For example, the nationalism of Hitler. So we have to keep the balance between nationalism and humanity. So this year on 24th January 2024, UNESCO has taken its shed light on why learning for peace matter, and has highlighted the crucial role of education and teachers to combat hate speeches. So it is also a foremost duty to fight against these hate speeches. Last year in November 2023, the new recommendation on education for peace, human right, and sustainable development was adopted by 194 UNESCO member state at the 42nd session of the General Conference, and unanimous. It was unanimously resonated that education plays a transformative role in shaping a peaceful future. So this UNESCO member decided how education should be used to bring about lasting peace and foster human development through 14 grounding principle. This recommendation acknowledges that education in all its form and dimension in and out of the school shapes how we see the world and treat each other, and it can be pathway to constructing peace. This indicate that positive transformation are needed in multiple domain, ranging from digital technology to climate change and gender equality. So as a teacher, as a peace ambassador, we have our moral duty to try hard and strive our best in the maintenance of peace around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So it has been a very, very interesting session from every one of you. And before we wind up in the next 10 minutes, we could invite some reactions, some questions from our participants, esteemed participants. So if anyone, they can, yes, in fact, I can already see that Dr. Franca is wanting to share her perspective. Dr. Franca from Italy.
Yes, I didn't prepare any speech because I didn't ask to participate, to speak in this Zoom meeting, but I have some questions. I simply shared the link to one of my articles about education and published also on academia.edu, and some poems on the genocide in Gaza. Having taught for over 30 years, 80 years, in various order of schools in Italy and abroad, also in Istanbul for 7 years on behalf of the Italian Foreign Office. I should also go to Madrid as my second mission, always on behalf of the Foreign Office. So I have a wide experience in the teaching field because I passed a lot of exams, both in languages and in some subjects like science of building, on construction, buildings, technology, design, history of art, and drawing of every kind. So I know my students. I have in good contacts with all of them. And also they are friends, my friends on Facebook. So I taught peace, and you all teach peace or taught peace if I retired. The question I would like to say, Shahmenaz, in particularly, thank you for your fight on behalf of pro-Palestine, pro-Gaza, for the battles of all people. What can we teach now? What? If we don't fight against this genocide, this is my problem. I was blocked 4 times and more for 6 days on all socials. So I would like to leave this meeting asking you, how could we do something to tell our words, to say something against this genocide, our presence, as educational people, how? This is my question now. How can we change? Not change, we cannot stop this war, of course, but we should educate to peace and to understand that Holocaust was useless if they don't change mind. History didn't teach anything to all of us, because humanity is always the same. What peace? Which kind? What kind of peace? This is my question now. I am a little bit confused because what can we teach to our students? What kind of a peace if we don't need that, if we don't do anything to block it? I write every day on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, but I know I am a drop in the ocean. I cannot do anything, but we can teach what really is peace to our students. I am retired now, but I do what I can through social media. Not enough, of course, but what I can do is this. Okay, thank you. Sorry for my, but I'm very sad for this question of genocide. Sorry, I have also a son in law American. I tell you just this. I couldn't speak this way. I cannot, but I do because I should do this. I cannot tolerate what is happening. Oh, sorry.
Franska, I see lots of pessimism in your voice because that is sometimes happens to me also. The thing is that we teacher try to instill moral values, we teach humanity to our student, but the fact is that nowadays the society has changed so much that we teachers we can teach a student for 1 or 2 years, na? Like I'm also teaching in college, so if a student take my subject, either I will be able to teach him for 2 years or even for 3 years, because sometimes student they in India we have 3 years graduation, and sometimes some student they means in third year there are two subjects they have to leave once. So the thing is that I also feel lots of means this kind I have also sometimes these kinds of pessimism, because uh, our role in the life of student is not as much as the life of the role of their parents or their surrounding is. We can teach some student for 2 years 3 years, or in the schools a teacher can teach for 1 year or 2 years, but the surrounding around the world has changed so much. So whatever we are teaching to them, it doesn't mean that they are accepting it in like as a teacher, as a mark of respect they agree with a point. I have seen this kind of thing that as a teacher, when I say something in front of me as a mark of respect, they agree, but that is not what they are thinking. After some time I see those students sharing hate post on their WhatsApp and Facebook. So as a society there is a degradation of moral values. We see that the people are don't have much of mutual respect for each other religion, which was some years earlier. When like I was a child, I have seen so much of respect for people in many society that is eliminating these days. So I think we can try our best to by promoting these moral values in the student. Maybe if one or two follow us, then our mission is accomplished.
I agree.
Because I also feel the same which you are feeling. I also sometimes feel very pessimistic regarding this.
Yes, you are right. We teach for a while, not for families. Very important. The problem is this disgregation of our society, no respect for others. I agree with
Teach.
you.
The respect of elder is slowly getting eliminated from the society. Even the respect for teacher, like in India, teacher the position of teacher was considered
Yes.
as very high, but it is not the same now. If you say something to student, they get offended very easily. Like we used to get scolding from the teacher in school and even in college also, but now student get offended very easily. So there
Yeah,
are these things, degradation of moral values in the society.
Thank you, everybody. We have to stop the meeting now because of the timeline. So wonderful, absolutely awesome session. Great speakers, lots of things to share. Thank you so much. Congratulations to each and every one present today. Thank you, Amandi, for being here. Joseph for all his help. Marta,